Yeah. Right, we come to what is probably one of the biggest problems, I don't know, maybe in the world, I don't know, it's definitely in the country, is mental health and strength.
Right.
There is a lot of, there are a lot of people around that have struggled since COVID because of the isolation, they're on their own maybe, the problems they had, maybe a bereavement or whatever, and they're deteriorating mentally. What we need to try and do is overcome this. Because if you don't, once your mental health deteriorates, then your general health will deteriorate, your business will deteriorate. And to try and overcome this, you've got to really focus on what is the best part of what you're doing. For me, initially, when I learned the first thing about mental strength, which is combined with health, was in the early days when I was in my dance career, and I was starting to rise very, very quickly in the area that I was in, and we had a particular mother, shall we say, a dancing mother, who was determined that I would not be better than her son.
Oh, right, okay.
So as much as I worked, practiced and whatever, wherever we went, because we were all from the same school, she would try and beat me down mentally. I was only a kid then, I was about 13, 14, so this older experienced woman would do her best to try and make me uncomfortable, to try and upset me, and it was one of the first really difficult things to overcome. And then I used to, my mum would say, what do you think about it? What are you going to do? And I used to say, the next time she does, it was that bad.
Right.
This woman, and my mum said, well, that is exactly what she wants you to do. Because you do that, your career's over.
Oh, right.
So you have to listen to it, you have to take it, you have to let it go straight over the top of your head, and then you go back and prove that you're better. Now, that was where I really learned the first part of mental strength. So I actually overcame that, and then went on to win, went on to lose, and the losing, then you can handle losing because you've handled the defeat in the early years. So have you ever had any problem with that?
What, personally myself with the business?
Yeah, well, it is personal. Has anything knocked you back so far you thought you would never recover?
Oh, definitely. I've had to just walk away.
Yeah.
To save my mental health, because somebody can bring you right down.
So how did you actually do that and overcome it?
I made a very definite decision.
There you go, you see. And now decisions, that's another one.
Yeah, definite decision. I think if you're a patient person, you take so much, and then I think sometimes other people around you can see your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities.
That's exactly what happens.
And
they take advantage of it.
They take advantage of your good nature.
Yeah, that's it.
And you think, oh, I'll let that ride, I'll let that go, it doesn't matter. And those people are out there who will take advantage.
They're waiting for you.
Yeah, and you just have to, and they'll push and push and push until you go, stand still, that's enough.
That's it. And you walk away.
You walk away.
You make a reappraisal.
Yeah.
And then you use that inner strength to overcome
even though it can be very upsetting at the time, really upsetting, you can look back and go, wow, where did I get that strength from?
It's a learning process.
And it's not just in business, sometimes it's in your personal life. If you get divorced or anything like that, that strength has to come from somewhere.
Bereavement is for me.
Bereavement.
It took me years to get over a bereavement.
Yeah.
As mentally strong as I always was,
it
took me absolutely years to get over it. Then I had my biggest probably defeat was when I was 16. And it was one of the top judges decided that I would not win this competition, and I came within, I tied first place, and lost it because of this one judge. And that really was devastating. So then it was my dance teacher, my mentor, and he said, get back in the next day, you walk around that place as if you won.
Oh, right. Well, that's a good idea.
And that's what you do. He said, you walk straight into the Winter Gardens, walk around as if you won.
Yeah.
I said, I can't.
Yeah.
And he went, you are.
Right.
Get in there and do it, you know.
Yeah.
So I walked in, and the first person I walked into went, you should have won.
Right.
So that power to overcome it is, if I hadn't have gone in, nobody would have said anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And every person, so that was one of the biggest tests of my mental strength. I then carried on, and 5 or 6 years later, same judge as a competition, tried to do the same thing.
Oh, right, okay.
But this was different. It was the UK Charleston Championships. 5th place again. But because of the way the board was structured, he couldn't do it.
Right.
So I won. In other words, I defeated him.
Right.
And I walked into the competition, thought, oh God, no, he's here again. But I was determined. So I actually overcame that man is going to make sure I don't win. But I defeated him. And it's all builds up from when you're younger. You must get this vision that I will not be beaten. I will not lose. I will be successful. You've got to. And years and years and years later, in between, I had a relative who tried to destroy me, which he very nearly succeeded. Now that's worse because it's a close personal relationship. And that one really knocked me to 6. And it took a long time to recover. Once I did recover, I got back to the person that I was, then success was booming all over the place. Yeah. And then the last one was that excuse for the human being that ran RBS, Nat West. This guy took over from Fred the Shred and decided that he would destroy all his good customers, and I was one of them. Right. And did his best to destroy. Well, he did destroy a lot of businesses, and it doesn't matter what you did. First class customer, low gearing, never missed a payment on mortgages, repaid them thousands. But this guy was determined, you will be destroyed. And they gave me 2 years to sort it out. And I came within a month of losing it all. But again, mental strength, I beat him as well. So you must, no matter what, you keep repeating. You got a mantra. Have you got a mantra?
No.
No?
No.
That's unusual.
No.
Yeah. Well, I always have certain mantras at certain points in time. I will not be beaten. I will be successful. I will not accept this. I will sort it out. And I repeat those things to myself.
But it's finding the strength.
Finding the strength is the difficult one.
Strength, motivation.
The motivation. You must set your sights on, this is what I'm going to do, and don't let anything
But when you're self-employed, where does that come from?
Well, that's partly what we do here, isn't it? We try and bring people in and go through it and say, sit and talk about it, tell us about it. For me, I don't know, I've been mostly self-employed. I did have a 4-year contract, a sales contract with Bill Beaumont, and if you wanted motivation, you just sit with this man. Right. This man was unbelievable. 150 million turnover in his company. Local Liverpool lad. And to sit and listen to him, you just were buying. You wanted to really go forward like a lunatic and be successful. And if you can find a good mentor, I've had about 4 good mentors. One, First one was a dance teacher. Second one was a guy who taught me how not to do it. He was good at going forward, but he couldn't tie his shoelaces.
Right.
So I ended up tying his shoelaces for him. Yeah, it was a shame really, because he was highly successful, but just couldn't. Always bits of the jigsaw missing. Then one of my best mentors was a legal and general manager, a guy called Bill Loughnane. Fabulous Irishman from Dublin. So smooth. I learned most of my sales from him, or I learned the finesse of selling from Bill. And then finally Bill Beaumont, who I thought, well, if I can do this for you, I can do it for me. So if you can find these good people in the way, it's very, very helpful, and you must always listen to them. And I say this to people, you know, sometimes we sit with people who come in, and as you know, they run out after an hour.
They do.
It says, where's the door? Help, let me out. And I keep saying, well, do you
Because it can be just an overload.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, well, do you not know that the success I've created can be for you?
Yeah.
Use my mistakes. Use the bits where I went wrong and wandered off the road. And
You've got to keep open-minded.
yeah, you've got to keep open-minded and keep learning.
Yeah.
Right, that's our little lecture for today on that one.
Yeah, thank you.